Hi again. In yesterday's live, I introduced you to the concept of above and below the line. And today I want to expand on what I shared yesterday and think more in terms of how this shows up in leadership and management roles. So what I'm going to do is let me get myself out of the way. I'm going to bring up a slide. If somebody could give me the thumbs up and let me know they can see the presentation in the chat, that would be really good. So let's hide that banner, and hopefully now you can see that presentation. You know, just let me know. Brilliant. So, above and below the line, just a recap. What this model's about is that when anybody is below the line, they won't be performing at their best. And there are three things that tend to come to the fore. And those three things spell the word BED, B-E-D, blame, excuses, and denial. And when you're gravitating towards those types of behaviours, you might as well stay in bed. And then above the line, we've got ownership, accountability, and responsibility. And when anybody is coming from above the line, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to be performing at a much higher level. And on this slide, what I want to do is I want to break this concept down for you in terms of leadership and management. So below the line, if you've got people within your team doing any of those three behaviours, blame, excuse, and denial, then the performance levels of your company are going to be lower than you probably want to achieve. Now, if you personally are operating from any of those spaces, that could show up, for instance, as you say, blaming other people or blaming the government, blaming the economy or blaming the price of stock. If you've always got excuses or reasons or justifications for doing those behaviours, then you're going nowhere. And if you're in denial, you're not even facing up to your situation and what needs to be dealt with. It could really truthfully be said there that you deserve what you tolerate. And as a result of tolerating it, you're not going to be moving forward. And above the line, we've got ownership, we've got accountability, and we've got responsibility. And we're responsible for our own activities. So are your employees responsible to do the work that they need to do? And we're accountable once you get into management levels. You're now accountable for the results of the company, or you could be accountable for the results of the team that you're managing. So people need to be able to take account. In other words, what numbers show them they're winning in their role. And if you're choosing not to measure, you're not going to be getting any accountability, are you? And if you haven't got ownership or accountability and responsibility from your people, what you will do is you'll be driving them in a way below the line into what I would call a victim mentality. And the victim mentality can become the norm in the business. And we get your people above the line, what you're doing is you're getting them to operate from an owner or a victim type of mindset, owner or victor mindset. And that means you're more likely to win. And then when we have ownership, that's where it's not just going, it's in the head type thing, where everything's logical. It's coming from the heart, because they're actually taking ownership for their role. Now, I'm sure you're beginning to see that above and below the line is really important. And if we were to look at this from a management perspective, or a lack of management, or poor management, or below the line management, it will lead to things like this happening within your company. That, you're not measuring the metrics. Don't want to really see what they're showing, do we? Not holding people accountable or to account, not having meetings or holding poor meetings, poor communication, which often means no one knows what's going on, a lack of job descriptions, which means no one knows what they're supposed to be doing. And that all comes from little or no systems. And all those things and more happen because of a lack of management. And management is about creating competent, productive people. So if you've got competency, and productivity, it means that you've got good management. A lack of competency, that's down to poor management. A lack of productivity, that's poor management or no management in some cases. Now, above the line is where we look for leadership. And leadership is about two things: having passionate and focused people. So you've got to be able to give them a goal that they can buy into. You've got to give them a vision so they can be focused. You've got to measure them and hold them accountable to their key performance indicators, or their what you could call their success indicators. And that means that when you get them above the line, they're able to move forward. Then we want to think in terms about, well, how can we keep them focused? We want them to be passionate as well. And for that, you need to capture their heart and their soul. And you can do that by getting their ownership levels up. And that's where the culture of the business, things like congratulating them, awarding them, rewarding them, all those type of aspects come into play. Now, below the line, there's a lack of agency, a lack of ability to actually do anything. Above the line is about having agency, being at cause. And now you're going to move forward and you're able to achieve amazing things. So let me just change the view again. Come back to you. I'm going to bring my banner back up as well. That's okay. So, what I'm hoping you're doing is beginning to start to see the power this model has and how it could potentially transform the results you're able to achieve both in life and business. And my plan for the rest of the week is to keep expanding on the model and opening it up to new and different perspectives for how you can go about applying it. And tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at this through the lens of productivity and what you can do to increase first your own productivity and then your team's productivity. It works, it really does. So take this from theory to practice to mastery. Today, not Sunday, because you will thank me later. Thank you for watching.